Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fortress Comic News, episode 350. I'm
Wow.
one of your hosts, Chris, alongside my co-host, Mike. Mike, how's it feel to start off 2024
It feels about tree fitty.
with Tree Fitty?
Yeah, first one of the year. We're back. Have an interview with Dave Baker will be on the show today. So starting off with an interview, which is always good, Chris.
Yeah, that hasn't been happening the past couple of years, so
Yeah, locking people down in the new year. People want to talk. Yeah, I pretty much have had the last week off or so, just doing some projects and things like that. Finally put up some comics in the office on the wall and things like that. So yeah, I'm liking it in here. It's a little more like, I don't know, gets me in the mood to talk about comics when you're surrounded by them, you know?
nice. Yeah, I spent Christmas with my buddy and his family, and I'm pretty sure his kids got me sick, so I've been sick all week.
Oh yeah. Yep.
We talked ahead of the show, but you can probably hear it in my voice a little bit. I'm recovered. You got that like leftover in your throat.
The leftover phlegm.
So it's been a weird week because I haven't been to the gym at all.
Oh yeah.
So I'm hoping tomorrow.
You know, it's funny because this is the calm before the storm. There's been nobody at the gym. Like,
Dude.
even because like I sleep into like 7 a.m. because I'm an old man like that. But because usually I go to the gym at like 5 before work. But there's been nobody there. I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to the gym at 7:30. It's gonna be packed. No, because they're all waiting until the new year. Those first 2 weeks of the new year is usually when I take a break from the gym. You get everybody that comes in all gung-ho about the resolutions, and then they give up after a couple weeks. So
I'm gonna try. So we're recording this on New Year's Eve, everybody.
yeah,
I'm gonna try tomorrow, and if it's as you say,
yeah,
then I will go right back to doing kettlebells for a few weeks
there
at my
you go.
house.
Yep.
While I wait for everybody to give up.
I don't know if they're that gung-ho about January 1st, but maybe January 2nd is what they.
Yeah, we'll see.
We got to recover from the hangover, so
I have to recover from being in bed promptly by 9 o'clock.
Yeah, there you go. Really funny. So I've been watching a lot of movies on Hi-Ya. I think I've told you about this.
I don't think you have, actually.
Okay, so
I'm assuming Hi-Ya is a karate thing.
Yeah, so it's a karate streaming service, Chris. It's all kung fu movies.
That's hilarious.
It's like $5 a month. So someone through relation to me, she actually does trailers or works on trailers exclusively for Hi-Ya. Like she actually lives in Rochester, and but she was doing like fan videos for a lot of K-dramas and things like that. And some of the actors like retweeted them, put them on a billboard in Seoul, Korea. All this crazy stuff started happening. So Hi-Ya reached out to her and was like, hey, will you make trailers for us? And we'll pay you like, a few $1,000 here and there. And it's like, oh, hell yeah. So she actually has an account to Hi-Ya. She's not even like a kung fu fan. She just does the trailers for them. So she knows I'm a kung fu fan. She gave me the account. So I'm just watching nonstop movies, and I've been like, you can search like Donnie Yen, and they have like exclusive movies on there too. So there's a lot of fun, like a lot of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, kung fu stuff, like the fantasy kung fu. And then I was
Donnie Yen, so Star Wars Rogue One's on there too.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So a lot of stuff with Donnie Yen, but there was one that I found with Donnie Yen, and it's called Enter the Fat Dragon.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
And it's literally Donnie Yen wearing a fat suit doing kung fu. I haven't watched it yet. I just discovered it this morning. But I was like, oh my god.
Love it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good stuff like that. So a lot of fun kung fu movies I've been watching lately.
That's good. I'll save it for the movie section, but I watched something recently, and we'll talk about the show I've been watching. But I've also been playing Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's out. Yeah.
And got really. It's funny. I had this old man moment last night because I got like really addicted to it. I was playing it for a while.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm really tired. It's got to be like super late. I should probably go to bed. And I look at my phone and it's 9 o'clock.
You're like, oh no, I gotta keep gaming.
I didn't consent to this. Why am I tired?
Yeah, come on, what the hell? Yeah, I feel that.
First Greedo of 2024.
There you go. He's got to get in the shot. He's gonna go for a streak this year.
He's being very needy today.
Yeah. I've noticed that with my cat too. The more I'm home, the more she needs more attention.
Yeah.
But anyways, everybody, I think we'll just jump into the news. Oh, I did want to share something really quick. I got a couple of really interesting, fun gifts for Christmas because everybody knows me so well. So the first one I got for my friends, because apparently Pop, they haven't been doing so well, but now they have this thing called, oh, there's too much light in here. Hold on. Okay, you can kind of see it. It's a pop of me, okay, with my glasses. It says Mike Ricker, and it has my little cat Maggie there. I'm holding a gaming controller and a weight dumbbell. And this one's called Mike Ricker. Okay, I'm just wearing normal clothes. Somebody else got me. So it's called Pop Yourself. You can go on Pop's website. I think they just started doing it. Funko's website. They just started doing it this year. Somebody else got me a separate one that's just Ricker. And I'm in a Batman suit with Maggie still and a gaming controller. So all those things are still the same, but they're like, oh my God, I can't believe you got 2 of these this year. That sucks. But I'm like, no, now I have an alter ego because the one's wearing glasses and normal clothes, and this one's wearing a super suit without glasses. So I have the Clark Kent, and I have the plus they're different names. It's Mike Ricker. So,
yes.
I thought it was just hilarious that I got like 2 alter egos of each other.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So that was just like a happy coincidence. I think it's awesome. Funko needs to do more stuff like that and stop making pops of just like so many random fandoms out there.
And like, love the man to death, but the billion Kevin Smith pops that you can get now.
It's like, come on. I used to try to collect all the Batman ones, dude. They made like, there's just too many. It's just
so many. Yeah.
And I heard they lost a lot of money this year. They had to like dump a bunch of pop figures out and stuff. So this is the route they should be going, doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
But
my big one this year was my buddy got me the Bulbasaur waffle maker.
That is awesome. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I think I sent him a video like earlier in the year. Last year, because this is coming on 2024, Mike.
Yeah. Sure.
But I sent him a video about it. I was like, oh, this is funny. And then he apparently saw that video, ordered it back in like fucking, who knows, April or something.
Oh,
and has been holding it ever since.
He's just like, man, I really want to make a waffle with this.
So tonight, we're making protein waffles, Mike.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go. So you don't feel so bad when you eat 6 of them.
Yeah. And I got bourbon barrel aged Vermont maple syrup to go with it.
Oh man, that sounds fantastic.
And then bacon and eggs.
Oh yeah,
we're going all the way tonight.
Breakfast for dinner, folks.
And I'm gonna pass out on the couch like an old man.
Hell yeah! Oh, I'm not staying up till midnight. No way.
I just gotta share this with you real quick, but Greedo just farted.
Oh no!
It smells really bad right now.
Oh man, you're keeping a straight face through all that. Holy shit!
It's not good, everybody.
Sorry about that. All right, I guess we'll just jump into the news so Chris doesn't have to suffer this fart room anymore. TV news via Marvel.com. We got the announcement, first clip of What If Season 3. The clip shows a scene that includes a younger Red Guardians and Winter Soldier in America when a mission goes wrong. So here's the little clip. So they're jumping right into it.
There it goes, yeah.
Oh, too fast for you? Oh,
yeah, this is like a Fast and the Furious thing, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, apparently I need to keep it up.
Is that supposed to be Cap and...
No, so Bucky, and then that's Red Guardian.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I don't want to claim your offer. But yeah, it looked, I mean, we'll talk about season 2, but I like it. I mean, I like Red Guardian, so give me more of that. First season is really good. We'll talk more in depth, but the second season is really good. I'm actually gonna skip ahead because this is a long ass clip.
Is a lot of the actors still doing the voice?
So it's like half and half, because when you go into the season 2, you'll see like Benedict Cumberbatch shows up for a lot of it.
Yeah.
And Sebastian Stan shows up for his parts and everything. But
that's cool.
Then like I forget who played Hela, but like they got a new voice actors for that.
Yeah.
And all that. So it's like it's half and half. It seems like the people who are still around for the MCU are into it, but the people who either like are one and done or their role is over. Like I don't think Chris Evans showed up for anything in season 2.
Yeah.
So on and so forth.
So we see Bucky and Red Guardian shooting at some probably SHIELD agents or just cops in general.
Yeah, something. FBI agents or something. But it's a cool, I mean, I don't know. Go on Marvel's YouTube. It's a cool clip. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of it's like, so there's some action there, but the back and forth between the two is really interesting.
Yep.
Like Red Guardian kind of plays off the jokiness of it, and Winter Soldier stays his like stern self as he
is. Yeah, he's always very stoic. Okay.
But I'll be excited for season 3.
Yeah, I still got to watch season 2, but I know you did, so you can talk about it.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed season 1, I mean, I don't see any reason you won't enjoy season 2. It's more of the same in a good way. I thought they did a good job of picking more obscure characters to go on. The first episode was probably my favorite, but the first episode was also a cyberpunk noir series.
Oh yeah, of course.
Which had Nebula joining the Nova Corps and then like having to solve a crime. They brought back Peggy Carter and basically did her version of the Winter Soldier, where Steve and the Hydra Smasher got controlled by the Red Room. And let's see what the holiday episode was fun. Like they did one where Happy Hogan says Christmas, and it's basically Die Hard with superpowers.
Nice.
That's a really great episode. The ending, like team up, was really cool. A lot of fun.
Cool.
And that new character they introduced the episode was okay. It was, a superhero origin story.
Yeah.
I liked how they added in the MCU magic, because it like her powers come from the Tesseract.
Oh, okay.
But it's all based on Native American lore. And the idea of like a sky world and all these different things.
That's cool.
As people who grew up in New York, we got a lot of education on Native American heritage. And then what else was the
was there any zombies, Marvel zombies, or no?
Marvel zombies show up. There's a lot of callbacks to the first season, especially in the last 2 episodes. It's great. The 1602 episodes. So there's 2 1602 episodes. And what I'll say is they're infinitely more interesting than the comic 1602. I know a lot of Neil Gaiman fans are going to be mad at me for that, but that book is boring.
Oh, no.
And I liked that one because it had Peggy Carter going back into 1602 to help save the timeline. And then Steve Rogers is Robin Hood.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like you expect it to be Hawkeye, and that's Steve.
Did Neil Gaiman write for that or no? Was he credited?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it's a great season. Everybody, if you're into the MCU, even if you're not in the MCU, like I don't think there's anything there that you really need to have been kept up with the MCU. If you're a lapsed fan. Who gave up after Endgame, you can still enjoy this. They even reference Infinity War in this. Like, yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Nice. Yeah, I gotta check it out. Just gotta sit down and get through it.
And the animation's growing on me.
Yeah, it's not as jarring as it originally was. All right. The only movie news that we got, and the one that dropped like in the middle of the week, very abruptly.
Right after we recorded the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is official. Jonathan Majors was charged in one of the counts, I think, found guilty of reckless assault and harassment on December 18th. Following the news, literally hours later, Marvel's like, nope. They announced that he would not be returning for future MCU projects. We are seeing no word as to whether the studio will pivot away from King the Conqueror or recast the role. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. Maybe they do a quick little back in time thing. Maybe they don't say anything and just recast them. I don't know.
I think they do. I made the joke on one of the episodes.
Yeah.
But I think it ends up being the recast, and then they're just like, "Who's this dude?" It's like, "This is Kang," and then they move on.
Yeah, I think that's the only way to do it.
I've already heard rumors of like who they're looking at.
Uh-huh.
The first rumor I heard, please don't do this, but I heard Will Smith was one of them.
Oh no.
Yeah, don't do it.
No. I think he's already got too much between the slap and everything, and with his wife. He's got too much controversy out there already.
I like Will Smith as an actor and everything. Like Fresh Prince is great,
but he's just Will Smith.
Yeah, and his movies have been good, but like, just no.
Yeah,
it's I think the funniest one I saw, and this is more of a joke, but the guy who originally played War Machine, everybody was like, it would be really funny if they casted him as Kang. Just bring it all full circle. But that will never happen.
It was before Don Cheadle was War
Machine?
There's
a guy in the first or second Iron Man movie.
Oh my god,
was War Machine.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
And then Don Cheadle came in and stole his role.
Yep.
They're like, hey, by the way, we're bringing in this really famous actor to come in. Oh, okay. Thanks.
The other guy's famous too. I just can't remember who it is.
Yeah, I know his face. I just don't know his name.
Yeah, so
that's funny though.
I think at the end of the day they're gonna recast.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been back and forth of like they're renaming the Kang Dynasty Avengers movie, and they might pit. It's like, no, you've gone this far.
Yeah.
Like, just recast.
Yeah, just do that. Call it a
day. I've been saying for a while, I mean, I think the Black Panther thing was its own situation, but I thought you could have recast pretty much all these roles, and if you did it right, it would work. So I really didn't see why these actors had to stay in these roles forever if they didn't want to, and you want to keep doing these. Like, we're all smart enough, we can understand what a recast is. But hopefully that's what they do, because I love Kang, and I was really looking forward to doing the Kang Dynasty movie. So
yeah.
And on a personal level, it's very unfortunate. Jonathan Majors, what he did was terrible. So now I can officially say he's been found guilty. That's terrible.
Yeah.
On a human level, I wish he didn't do it. On a selfish fan level, I wish he didn't do it, because the dude's fucking really talented.
I know.
And I was really enjoying him as Kang.
Yeah, I know.
So, but I understand the decision, and I think it's the right one.
Yeah, for sure. Disney doesn't mess around with that stuff at all. You know, they're just like, goodbye. We got enough money. We don't need you.
So, quick pivot, because I did watch a movie this week.
What'd you watch?
I watched Barbie. Mike.
Oh, you did? I think I watched it again this week. I can't remember. Okay. And
I'll say I didn't like it.
Okay.
Which is not surprising. I understand why it was so popular, because it's very safe in a lot of ways. At the same time, it takes a risk at the end that ruined the movie for me.
Okay.
I think I was right. It was a comedy.
Oh yeah.
None of the jokes landed for me, because I'm not the audience. Let's put that out there. I'm not the audience. So all my criticisms will go out the window, because if you're not if you're in the audience, or like this is more your taste, then you'll probably enjoy it. But I thought the ending where huge spoilers for Barbie. I'm going to spoil the fuck out of this movie.
I mean, it's been out for a while. You're probably okay.
Yeah. I thought the ending where they took back Barbie Land and then basically told the Kens to like deal with it kind of pissed me off. I'm like, you had a chance here. You could have been like, oh, what we did was wrong.
Yeah.
What they did was also wrong. We should come together.
No, but the idea is men are stupid. Don't you get it? Like we can't be leaders.
But that's my problem. Is like you had a chance to do something special here, and to like say, hey, we could all come together and be good together.
Yeah. And
instead you're like, nope, fuck men.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was hilarious. So I think we have different views on the movie, but I absolutely loved it. And I think my favorite part was at the end, the reveal. You're like, oh, she's going out into the real world to get a job. She's like, no, she's going to the gynecologist.
That was the best joke in the whole movie. hands down.
Yeah,
when
that
like
was
she walks out and she's like, I'm here to see my guy, like the best joke in the whole movie.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. And she's like wearing Birkenstocks instead of heels.
Yeah.
What about Michael Cera's character?
He was good, but it's also kind of like,
yeah, I can't remember his name.
Alan. It was Alan.
Yeah,
Trust
he was
me, I remember it.
Yeah.
I'm a little like, I liked him in like Arrested Development and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he's been typecast to hell, man. Like he just plays the sad sack and everything.
We haven't seen him in anything.
Yeah, and I kind of feel bad for him because I heard he's. I mean, I've never watched it because I didn't like the comic, but I heard he's good in Scott Pilgrim.
Oh yeah, he's really
good. Still gets a typecast as this like sad sack.
I know. And I honestly, I was really surprised in the movie to find out about all those discontinued Barbies, like that were real things.
Like
the one where her boobs get bigger and stuff.
I knew about some of them because did you ever watch The Toys That Made Us?
Oh yeah, I did. I never watched the Barbie episode though.
Oh yeah. So I've watched all of it, and they did the Barbie episode, and they talk about like the pregnant Barbie.
Oh my god, that's so crazy that all that, like the one with the TV in its back.
Yeah, there are some weird ones. Yeah. No, I thought. I mean, the acting's good. The movie's well shot and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were telling a story, and then at the end you fumbled the landing.
But how about that like random John Cena moment where he's like an Atlantean king with long hair? I was like, what the?
So like I said, all in all, I didn't enjoy, but like there's moments in there, like when they're partying and like they're drinking beer, and it's just like toy beer and nothing's coming out.
Yeah, nothing's coming. Yeah, I love that.
And then like it's a good gag when she goes to the real world and she can't drink.
Yeah, she has no idea what she's doing. Yeah.
I think there's good stuff in there.
Okay.
I've said it 5 times now, but the ending.
It's all good.
Mike, it's really hard to write notes when you have a cat in your lap.
Yeah, I know. I have one attacking my leg right now.
But he's finally calmed down. So I'm like,
okay,
not pushing the envelope here.
Yeah. Mine was sleeping, and I was like, well, maybe I'll just get by while she sleeps and finish the episode. Now she's up and cranky. It's all right.
Got him right under the chin.
We'll get through it. Comic news, everybody. Just a little bit of comic news. Marvel announced that starting in April, writer Cody Ziegler and artist Roj Antonio will bring back Deadpool for a solo ongoing series. The series said to share the spotlight between Deadpool and his daughter Ellie, as well as introduce a new villain, Death Grip. I didn't even know that Deadpool had a daughter, but there you go. So we're getting a new ongoing Deadpool book. I'm sure it's going to do really well. I probably won't check it out.
Same. I will say Cody Ziegler's been doing a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, great writer. Yep.
I really enjoy his Miles Morales, even though I'm a few issues behind.
Yep.
I heard his Spider-Punk's really good. He's done some other stuff. So, bit of a promotion. Hopefully it sells well for him.
This is a huge book for him to be on.
Yeah. But yeah, I was unaware that he had a daughter as well.
Yeah. Deadpool #1 in the year that I think the Deadpool movie is coming out this year, right? I believe.
Yeah, they've nothing in common with each other. There's no synergy here whatsoever, Mike.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing's happening.
No, this was the least surprising news.
Yeah.
I think the shocking part was that it like came at the end of December randomly.
Right.
We're all like on vacation or away from.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit, we forgot to announce this. But that's cool. I think
good for the Deadpool fans. They'll hopefully get a good book.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, I forgot about this thing. DSTLRY, as in DSTLRY, announced 2 new comics coming in March that are spinning out of their one shot from 2023 called The Devil's Cut. The new series are White Boat from Scott Snyder and Francesco Francavilla. This will be a horror comic set on a mega yacht that is sent to a remote island controlled by a secretive cult called the Human Project. That it looks very interesting and kind of like eldritch horror-ish, maybe. Yeah,
that's the vibe I got. These are the guys that did that book you liked on Comixology. I mean, obviously Scott Snyder we know, but Francavilla, the one about the horror movies.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they've worked together before, and they've done horror stuff before.
Yeah, art looks really good.
Seems interesting.
A mega yacht.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell from the press release whether it's like a series or it's a one shot or what it is.
Yeah.
But it seems interesting enough. I could see checking it out.
I mean, I'm definitely here for more Scott Snyder horror. So, the distillery name is just very, and it doesn't say distillery anywhere on this promo shot, right? I don't see that anywhere.
No, but I'm sure like up here somewhere, or no, because this will be a fold. It'll be like right here. There'll be the logo. It's usually how it goes.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, what I'll find interesting with you is how you get it, because their digital platform is weird.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Like I'll probably just get a physical copy of it.
Yeah, I'll probably have to just do that because they are one shots, right? Yeah, spitting out. Oh no, they're one shot. Okay, never mind. Spitting out of their one shot. Okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
Let me see. I'll pull up the press release again, but like dude, this company is so weird, and like I want to know more about them, and I've been trying to contact them, but they just seem to do what they want to do, man.
Yeah. They got Scott Snyder. They don't need anybody else.
Yeah, they got Scott Snyder and the next guy we're going to talk about.
Yeah, right. So speaking of, the horror duo, we have Spectrograph from writer James Tynion IV and artist Christian Ward. The series will be an occult horror comic about an isolated mansion in LA in which its owner had died, and his wealthy friends have to find out what happened. That looks really creepy. I'm pretty sure Christian Ward did the Last House on the Street with James Tynion, which was like the sci-fi horror book, which was really good. Last House on Lane Street. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah. So they've worked together before, and yeah, the art looks really cool.
See, I was thinking. So I was introduced to him through the Batman book.
Oh yes, yeah.
That he's doing, and I love his art. And I was thinking, even when this was announced, I'm like, what a great team up.
Yeah. Last House on the Street or something, I think it was called. It was a comic, but it was really good. No, I can't find it, but yeah, it was something like that. Someone's gonna correct me, but it was basically like a sci-fi horror book, and the guy was like, the alien was like out of like the 4th or 5th dimension, so it was like weird when they showed him, and the art was just insane.
Yeah, so I think this is another one I'm probably gonna actually check out, just because I think it's a great team up, and we'll see how it goes. I get the idea that I'm rereading through these press releases, and it's like they sound like one shots to me, but like fucking, could you tell me?
Right.
Because literally just it says the whole thing, like here's the White Boat one. White Boat revolves around a titular mega yacht with super rich that super rich used to traverse the globe. Blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, is it a one shot or not?
Yeah, right.
But either way, I'll check these out. I think the Gone book that Jock did was a one shot, so
maybe they're just all one shots.
Which would be kind of cool if that's their MO.
Yeah.
I'd be down for more just one shot books where I could just check them out and move on. But that makes me want to go back and try to find a copy of the Devil's Cut to see what's going on here. Maybe
me too.
Jump in.
I know. Now it's like, oh man, now I feel left out. It's like we got a whole bad idea thing going on again.
Yeah, but at least I can get this at my local shop.
Yeah, that's true. At least you can order this through a comic shop. Most comic shops.
Yeah, it looks like Gone was just a one shot too. So
yeah, okay.
See, I'm on there.
I definitely like the art, and the color scheme is very much the Batman book he's been working on. So everything's like dark blue. I like that.
So this is fucking. This is what I don't get. So I remember when we first talked about Distillery, and everybody was like championing them, and I thought it was weird. And I mean, I thought it was a good idea, but I thought it was weird that everybody's championing them because it sounded like NFTs to me.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of thinking I was right, because if you go to their website, like I'm at the Gone store right now,
and
it says you can find a retailer for a physical copy. If you go to digital, sold out.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, these are the guys that have the exclusive digital issues.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
So that's weird.
I mean, I guess you create more of a demand, but come on, guys.
Yeah,
What they should do is up the price by like $1 or $2 if you missed out. Like a pre-order, you know what I mean?
I don't. I think like blockchain NFT has a place in the world, and it can be used, but like I'm sorry, everybody, people are gonna get mad at me, but in an industry that is currently in a downslope, possibly dying, why would you do something like that? Why wouldn't you want as many people in as possible?
Right, you're already cutting people out.
Yeah, like just put it on fucking Kindle.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
I get that these guys were like fired from Comixology, so I'm sure there's bad blood.
Yeah, right.
But like, I would get it into as many places as I could and make sure that on my own website it was available forever.
I know.
But especially when I have James Tinian, Jacques, Christian Ward, and
yeah,
so on and so forth.
People are going to show up for these writers.
Yeah. You have and I think Becky Cloonan did a book for them.
Yep.
Like they've had some big creators too. It's weird.
Very strange.
I like what they're doing in terms of the art and the comics. I just don't understand the marketing behind it.
Yeah.
Personally.
No, me either. It's very strange. Maybe they saw really good numbers when they did that. I don't know.
Well, it's still in its infancy, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I could be really wrong, and I'm open to being really wrong, but yeah.
I mean, there is a lot of power in FOMO, that's for sure. So
yeah, dude, the devil's cut. If you want to order it right now, you can buy a physical copy on their website. You cannot buy a digital. It's so weird.
Forcing me to go back to physical. All right. Well, I guess we'll talk about what we read this last. Well, so I haven't read anything from this last week, but over the last couple of weeks, I had some stuff that I had to read. So
yeah, I've been like behind on a few things. So
yeah,
I was smidge, but there's some stuff I'm sure you read that I didn't get to.
Yep. I finished up Creepshow. This is the last issue of Volume 2 for this year. So
is that number 4?
I think it was issue 5. I can't remember because there was a Christmas issue. Maybe it was 4. I didn't write the number down for some reason. This was Nick Dragotta on a story. Elisa, and then Quitney and Morissette on the arts. The first story is about a grocery store and a cart return guy that was like, he was killed returning carts, so now he like kills bad people, and like the lady that runs the grocery store is like in on it. Yeah, it's really funny. There's like this little snot-nosed kid that like steals candy from the store, and the cart like monster like wraps him up, like it puts him in the cart, and the mom finds him. It's like really fucked up. But it was a cool story. I'm like, wow, I've never read anything like this before. The second story is really cool. It was about a woman in an old folks home. She's like kind of like in a where she's about to die. What do they call that? I can't remember. Hospice care. But she has this like amulet that lets her take over another person's body. And there's a real piece of shit like ward at the hospital that's like stealing jewelry from people. So she's tried to steal the jewel from her, and it lets her like take over her body. So like the old woman like dies or whatever, and now she was like the shitty person was put in the old lady's body, so she's getting treated like crap, and now this lady like runs the place. It was a really cool story.
It would be a funny, like, maybe only I would find it funny, but like a comedy horror where like that exact story, but like she keeps getting like jumping into other people that are dying.
Yeah,
can never escape.
Yeah, she can't escape. She just has to die. Like, yeah, that'd be fucked up. Capwolf and the Howling Commandos -- Phillips
fucking
and
right, you read
Magno.
That.
Yeah,
cover. Look at this cover, everybody.
Yeah, it's sick. That villain Ross or whatever her name is really cool.
Yeah.
yeah, so Capwolf fights the big bad Ross. The Howling Commandos are up against a bunch of werewolves, of course. And now Fury, Nick Fury is like in the hospital. He's like, I gotta go help them and fight. Yeah, so there's a cool fight scene between Ross and Capwolf, and then there's the Howling Commandos are like, okay, we got to do some shit. So they're fighting Nazi werewolves. It's just a fun book all around.
If Stephanie Phillips wants to go the funniest route possible,
yeah,
this would be where Fury discovers his healing cigars that never make him age.
Oh, really?
So that he heals from all of his injuries and then goes back in the field.
He smokes a cigar.
I'm pretty sure that was a thing at one point. Maybe that was a joke, but I
can see it happening. That's awesome. Yeah.
There was something where he had something about because he never aged.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to take him out of World War II.
Yeah.
But they kept him through like up until like a few years. I mean, he's still around technically, but he's like a god now or some shit. Yeah. A good issue.
I caught up on Batman City Madness. It's Christian Ward, number 2. Yeah, great story. Batman and Talon enter the Dark Gotham, and Nightwing's at Arkham with Harvey trying to end all the bad stuff happening. So great friggin' story.
Great fucking issue. Love that book.
Caught up on Guardians of the Galaxy 9. Lansing Kelly, Kev Walker on the art. Like you said, good issue. The whole Drax backstory with his original soul was a little weird. Like, and if you'd ever told me anything before going to the issue, I would have been like, wow, this is what the hell is happening? So that was kind of strange, but still good issue. I mean, Lansing or Kelly they're killing it, man.
I should find the one shot where they
talk about it.
Separated the soul.
I
forget what event it's from, but it's really funny.
Is it?
Yeah, because like it turns into this like weird hallucination, and like his soul gets ripped away, and the Thanos copter shows up.
Oh, that's funny.
It's and it's like recent, like within the past 6-7 years. So,
Radiant Black 27, and it also had a 27.5. I didn't read it. There's too many comics, man. I can't keep up with this double story. I just can't. This is Higgins and Clark. Nothing against them. Nathan ends up getting stabbed in the second trial. So I'm reading the one where Nathan takes over the mantle. Nathan is the smarter one, not the brutish one. They tested how much he relies on his friends, and he killed the group that was testing him. Oh, maybe Nathan. Oh no, I'm sorry. Nathan gets stabbed, but he didn't have the mantle. I'm reading the one with the other guy, Mitchell, I think his name is. He's like the black-haired guy is taking over the mantle. So like Nathan gets stabbed and they think he's like dying, and they need him. Like this was another trial he had to go through to save the Earth. But I won't read the other issue because I can't read double issues every time this comes out.
So I am a little bit behind on that. That was one of the ones I put to the side. But Mike, let me introduce you to something else I discovered last week. Because me and our retailer had a long conversation about this and how I'm like getting frustrated with this massive verse.
Yeah.
This came out last week, I believe.
Okay.
Did you know that this exists?
No. It came out December 20th. Shift one shot. Wow.
So there's a Radiant Black one shot that came out in the middle of all of this that's ties into the Catalyst War. And I want to point out to everybody, once again, for the millionth time, other than the fact that, I mean, that's obviously Radiant Black there. But if you just saw this on the shelf, how would you know, Mike?
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. I love Higgins. I love you.
Dude, we have a comic news podcast. How does this shit get by us?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I literally got the email with everything coming in, and I was going through it and setting up our stuff on our website. And I saw it, and I'm like, Shift. What's this? This looks interesting, because I try to get the new number ones at the bottom and all that.
Yeah.
And I looked at it, and it's Kyle Higgins. Like, oh, what's Kyle Higgins doing on this?
Yeah.
And I started reading about it. I was like, oh, this is a Massiveverse book.
Oh my god, they need better marketing for sure.
And then what's weird too, I'll talk about this book in a minute. But so No One came out last week, right?
Yeah.
Look what's on it, Mike. Oh, it's blurry.
Yeah.
It's blurry.
Yeah.
Really tiny letters right there. Massiveverse.
Wow. Wow.
I have such a love-hate relationship with this.
I know, because it was so good. They just thought they could just ride the popularity of it, but like, we're confused, guys.
I think Radiant Black hit so big, and they built this plan afterwards, and now they're trying to stitch it together.
Yeah.
It was not planned out very well.
They
But
should have let the book go on for like 40 issues and then did all this other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's still all good.
Yeah.
I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the half books thing though is
it's bothering me because I'm like not going to buy 2 books.
Well, I think what is
because I thought it was supposed to be over already.
So 26 was when it started. I think it ends after 28.
Yeah.
So 26 happened. I remember you talked about it, and I hadn't read it yet, and you said the first half of each book is exactly the same.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And I read it, and I was like, "Oh, Mike wasn't being pedantic or anything.
No,
it's literally exactly the same."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Chris. It was literally the same, like 6 pages. So like, you're paying for a whole nother book, Chris, and you're maybe like 50% of that money is going to the same book.
Because I was like, when you said that, I'm like, okay, so they start off the same. I get it.
No,
like,
I know I exaggerate sometimes.
No. Literally,
yeah,
the exact same. Yeah.
And and like every page I turned, that was the exact same. I just kept getting more and more grumpy reading it. I was like, I don't want to read this again.
I've already picked up all of them up till now, so I think it's only one more I got to do. So just
what we should have done is like one of us should have only read the halves, and one of us should have only read the whole numbers.
Yeah, but I'm also insane. So if I didn't pick up both,
yeah, I know,
it would eat away at my soul.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just slowly chip away. All right, I got a few more books here. J. Garrick the Flash, number 3, Adams and Ortegui. I don't know if you're reading that.
Nope.
There's a lot of time travel stuff going on. So Dr. Elemental was back in time. He was when he gets thwarted by Jay's daughter, he was trying to create a super soldier from like a lot of different superheroes that he had, and like the JSA is like trying to find him in that timeline. Mr. Terrific helps with Judy, who's Jay's daughter's memories, to identify who Dr. Elemental was. So they go to Fairplay, who is actually Terrific's. So this is actually canon in DC Comics. I didn't know that Mr. Terrific had a son, but he has a son named Fairplay, who was a son stolen by Granny Goodness out of his mother's womb back in the day. So
comics are weird, Mike.
Yeah, New God Granny Goodness stole a child from Mr. Terrific back in the day. Dr. Elemental is actually Professor Hughes, we get in this issue, that is responsible for creating the original J. Garrick Flash. So we're going to get the whole origin next issue with like Professor Hughes and stuff. So there's something going on with the origin of Flash, and he's trying to like recreate another Flash or something. I don't know. We'll find out. But it's not a Flash book if there isn't multiple Flashes. So
correct.
Superman number 9. I don't know when this came out or if you read it.
Last week.
Oh, okay, cool. There's a cool scene where like Superman wears Lex's armor after recovering, and he fights Graft with Marilyn Moonlight. Graft like blasts them away, and he sends them to like the Wild West somehow. Don't know how or what, but I guess we'll figure that out. We get like a train heist scene at the end of the book, so that was interesting. This book has definitely been enjoyable, so Williamson's doing a great job.
This book is what I want out of Superman, which is fun.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, we're in the Wild West now? Okay.
Yeah, like let's not try to go dark or weird with it. Just have fun with it.
Yeah, he gets blasted another time. Okay. When you think about it, though, you know, Superman's like invincible, but he's not invincible to getting sent back in time. So,
yeah.
Beast World number 2. This is Tom Taylor and Reyes on the art. Batman's a wolf now. That whole scene was pretty sick of him being like, he was like, I think he was fighting Nightwing, and he's like, get away from me. You're not going to leave me here. So he turns into a wolf. Nightwing was trying to capture him. And then we get like Amanda Waller talking to the president being like, you got to give me more control. So she's like kind of stiff arming the president to be like, okay, give me all the control of everything because I'll save you. So yeah, like you said before, Waller has been a really cool character throughout these series. So I'm interested to see what happens with her.
And I'll interject with number 3.
Oh, yeah.
So literally it picks up where it left off, and like we're dealing with the Batwolf and everything.
Okay.
Won't spoil too much, but like Amanda Waller gets another member of her team.
Okay.
And it's a big one for this. But it is funny because she's on a boat with Peacemaker, and they get attacked by shark people. And her line to Peacemaker when he's like saying, "What am I supposed to do?" and she goes, "Figure it out. They're just fish with feet." I found that funny.
That's amazing.
And then there's a big confrontation with Garth up in space where he's like the where they call him the Garo.
Yeah, Garo.
Yeah. But another good issue. Like I think I said it with the last issue. Like I was worried after issue 1 that like they blew their load in issue 1. They did not.
There's a lot of cool stuff happening still. Yeah. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong #3. Bucoletto and Duce on the art. Yeah, there's a lot of fun kaiju fights happening, so I'm very happy with this issue. Superman may be dead. Yeah, right. There's a cool fight with Atom Smasher and Godzilla, and then he gets smashed by Godzilla because, come on, it's Godzilla.
Yeah. Atom Smasher, take him down.
That was awesome. They're like Atom Smasher's dead, and Superman. They're like, oh no, Superman. They're like all worried about Superman. Atom Smasher's like laying there dead. Okay. I thought that was kind of funny. Lex is looking in the desert for something. I guess he finds Brother Eye buried there. So that's going to be interesting. And then there's something calling the monsters back to like an origin somewhere. So there's a lot of cool things happening in this book. A lot of fun. We're getting a Brother Eye reveal. I don't think we've seen Brother Eye for a while in any book. So
yeah. And I really enjoyed the middle part where we get a look at what's going on Monster Island. And it's just Green Arrow like running around shooting arrows at monsters.
Yeah, and like seeing giant monsters is like, this is crazy.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, that whole side story is just a lot of fun.
I just want that as its own book.
I know. I was gonna say I could read that as its own book. Maybe we'll have to tweet out to somebody, hey, give us a Green Arrow and Monster Island.
That or just send Green Arrow back in time to like fight dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, that's great. That'd be awesome. Yeah. And then the last book I got to. Well, I've been reading a lot. I'm almost done with the omnibus for Evil Dead. What I've noticed with the Evil Dead like mini, because they all do like 4-issue miniseries. They always do a catch up at the beginning because the writers tend to change like a little bit about the story to be like, okay, so now here's the story now. So they're always like, went to a cabin with my girlfriend. She had a killer lop off my hand, went back in time to the Middle Ages. So like one of the stories I read was like he was back in his own timeline, and then like the wizard comes back with the Necronomicon and is like, hey, you never said the words, so I stole the book. And now we got to fix this. And then at the end of that one, he's like, okay, you're going to send us back in the past, the wizard and like the Middle Ages people. Now make sure you throw the book in after. And he doesn't throw the book in. He leaves it in the desert. So he's like, see, I fixed everything. And then that snowballs into some more stuff happening. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, if you like Evil Dead, these books are just enjoyable. And then my last book I had was Batman Superman World's Finest #22, Mark Waid and Mora.
Which I didn't get to.
Oh, okay. I just say it's a great issue. Dude, I don't want to reveal it, but so this was an issue for me because they reference like that GOG. So they meet GOG, Batman Superman, and they reference he's on a certain type of, they get imprisoned, and they're like, did you see the chair that he was sitting on? And I was like, oh shit. And so you flip back, he's sitting on the Mobius chair. And if you know anything about the New Gods, one of my favorite characters who flies around in the Mobius chair is Metron. So when they get thrown into prison, Metron is in the prison as well. And he's like super weak because he doesn't have his Mobius chair. So GOG is planning on he has this huge plan. He's going to take all the heroes to a fight Apocalypse, like straight to the planet Apocalypse to fight. And all the heroes, the young heroes, are on board for it. They're like, fuck yeah, let's do it. But they like Batman and Superman know that it's like, you won't win that war. You're going to kill all the heroes. And that's what they realize. They're like, oh, he's like brainwashed them to send them to this awful planet to think that they can win the fight, and they're not going to win the fight. And then the Kingdom Come Superman kind of like finally believes. they're like, how would they know these things? And he's finally like, oh shit, we should probably believe them because, you know, they finally flipped a switch of like, oh, these guys are telling the truth. Because I think they realize that they can't win the Apocalypse War either. So it was a crazy plan. He's got the Mobius chair, Metron's in it. So there is a new god involved, right? So then maybe we'll get to go to Apocalypse, see more new gods with Kingdom Come characters. It's crazy, dude. The story's getting out of control.
When he gets on the Mobius chair, does he look out into the sky and say, oh my God, there's 3 Jokers?
No. Don't remind me of that. It was such a great scene to have Batman sit on the Mobius chair. Yeah.
Dude, that was a good reveal too. It just fuck that series.
I know. They could have just left it at that and never talked about 3 Jokers ever again, just to mess with people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, they should have because it had been too long. But anyways, that was the last book you had?
Yeah, but it was a great issue, so I hope you get to read it soon.
Quick shout out to a Zoop campaign that actually fulfilled.
Hey, Zoop, got one done.
Friend of the show, guy I really enjoy, Benjamin Morse, and the hardcover of We Are Scarlet Twilight.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so he killed it on this. The story's really good, and if you're a fan of the series, it's got all this extra shit in the back, all the covers, a bunch of sketches, some other goodies that he made just for the book. So awesome stuff. Really enjoyed it.
Nice.
All right, Mike. Let's get down to brass tacks here. Gods number 3 came out.
Wow.
This book's interesting because I'm not really sure where it's going. It's only got one more issue.
Okay.
But there's a lot of like they're building up these new characters and giving them like their own godhood while connecting them to Doctor Strange in some way. So I don't know. It's a good book, but it's one of the first times in a while where I have no clue where this fits.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, that's Hickman for you.
Yeah. It'll make sense at the end.
Yeah. Star Wars Revelations. So this is the yearly Star Wars book where they tease out what's coming next year. Basically, if you're interested in getting into Star Wars, this is a good book to pick up because it's all like little one-shot mini stories that are going to tie into what's in next year's books. So they do one for Dr. Aphra, they do one for Vader, they do one for the Star Wars book. And then we get our first look at the Mace Windu book.
Okay.
And the Jango Fett book, which both look really good. And they even do a story for the High Republic, which I enjoyed, but I feel like the High Republic out of any of them are the hardest to get into now because we've been doing it. We're at this point with High Republic where they're like referencing the old books now. It's been that long, so it's kind of tough to get into. But then there's this other one-shot story at the end that doesn't tell you what it's tying into.
Okay.
And it's called Duel of the Retrobrates. And it's about this guy who basically like is a doofus and kind of finds his way into Jabba's palace working for Jabba. And he constantly fucks up, but in like a funny way that still completes the mission. And then at the end, it gives you a to be continued question mark.
Okay.
So I don't know if it was just a one thing story where they're like, hey, this is funny, let's put this in here, or if they're actually going to do something with it. But I found it amusing, and I'm a Star Wars nerd, so I'll definitely check it out if it comes out. But yeah, so a lot of good stories there. I really enjoyed it. And then kind of the same vein, but for Marvel, was Timeless, which is also their yearly, like, hey, this is what's going on. But this more... Well, first, this was written by Lanzig and Kelly, which I found interesting.
Cool.
And this like has moments where it shows you what's going to happen this year. Like it'll be like little panels. Well, let me see if I can collage panels. What I'm looking for.
Okay.
That have like different things going on. So like this, for instance, where it shows. I don't know if you can see it on there.
Oh yeah.
But like it shows the Vampire War coming.
Yeah,
it's
like splash page almost.
Yeah. And we'll give you hints of what's happening. So it's interesting. What I found really interesting with this one. This is the first that really was kind of its own story. It was really just a one-shot story that had these moments in it that were like, oh, by the way, we're an advertisement for the next year of Marvel Comics.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Heroes for Hire story, Mike.
What?
So
that's cool.
It's Luke Cage and Danny Rand in the future. And it's basically at the end of time. And what I liked about it too is as I'm reading it, I was like, oh, like Mike will enjoy this. These two characters he really likes are in it.
Yeah.
And then you find out that the big bad that's Luke Cage has to fight at the end is Moon Knight.
Oh, damn.
So it's like a chocolate my peanut butter kind of thing.
Yeah, you're like, this is great.
And Luke has been working all this time to fight Moon Knight and Khonshu and has developed all these powers. And now he has the fist, like the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And a few other powers to go along with it. And we find out that Moon Knight is now Danny Rand. And Khonshu is basically taking him over. So Luke has to save him and he has to fight Moon Knight and all this stuff. So, Khonshu. It's a really good story. And I think you could pick it up and not have to really worry about the future of Marvel Comics or anything with it. You can kind of skip those pages.
Yeah.
Well, they do it very well where like something happens and like Luke's like, oh no, and he sees visions of the past. And that's when those pages happen. So
okay.
I think it's the best timeless book yet, personally. So
nice. That's awesome.
I wanted to shout this out because this is from a few weeks ago, but it ended as Scrapper.
Okay.
This is a really fun book. I was reading about Cliff Bleszinski and the back of it and some of the stuff he's talking about. And if anyone doesn't know, Cliff Bleszinski's like a video game creator who's responsible for like Unreal,
Gears of
War.
Yeah.
And a few other things. And he created this with his friend, and I think he actually did a really good job of doing one of those. It's this with this, and it's what if a dog was Batman?
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. The trade of it's coming out soon, and I actually had an interaction with him where I was like, I really hope this gets more, because he says in the back, like, we have more stories we'd like to tell. We set it up to do it. This is like a universe we want to create. And he said, like, it all comes down to how the trade sells. So
tell him to get
if it sounds interesting to you and you want to check it out, look it up online. Trade's going to be out soon. And I think it's well worth the read.
Cliffy B, come chat with us, dude.
Oh, dude, I would love that.
Come chat.
He has a memoir out, too, that I want to pick up about his time in the gaming industry.
Wow.
Yeah. And I won't spoil this because apparently you didn't get to it, but Silent Night.
Yeah.
Batman Santa, Silent Night ended. This book was such a breath of fresh air. Like, it's just, it's just a good time.
Yeah.
The ending is going to warm your heart. It's just such a good ending.
Nice.
Yeah, I really liked how they did it. I like the weekly nature of it. It was a lot of fun. It's just
they should do that every Christmas.
Yeah, do some sort of Santa Claus crossover.
Yeah, or just some sort of holiday weekly book like that.
Yeah. Batman Beyond Neo-Gothic #6 came out. The end of this series. First, Mike, I'll say at the end, they say Batman Beyond will return.
Hell yeah.
So I'll be bugging Lindsay and Kelly about that soon.
Yep.
I like the ending. I did not love the ending.
Okay.
Basically, they have a protocol from the last series where everybody had like the nano bits in them. And it enabled everybody to like have a holographic version of the Batman Beyond suit. So the whole city had to come and like fight against the thing that's coming out of the ground.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Meanwhile, the cat guy is trying to talk to Constantine.
Yeah.
And get to him at the end. There's a moment in here that I think you'll get when you get there where Terry like says something where I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from the fact that it was a good series and the ending was decent enough. And there's a nice big fight with Killer Croc at the end. So I'll still be excited for more. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still excited. They've gotten me more excited about Batman Beyond these last couple series.
Yeah. I'll say one bad line does not ruin a whole series for me, but
yeah,
you'll understand when you get to it what I mean.
Okay.
Then my last book was, or actually second to last book is No One, massive verse title we brought up earlier. This is No One number 7. Basically, the entire investigation here has come to a point where they're pretty sure they know who it is. Like they found out what's going on. And then there's this whole back and forth interaction with the newspaper where the newspaper and the podcast that they did might have been responsible for a few deaths from the murders in here.
Okay.
And they're trying to make up for it. And the woman who was on the show then quits the newspaper to work with the dad, who's the father of the guy who was the original murderer, who's now free. And they work together to figure out the whole thing. It's a big, big crime drama is what this book is at the end of the day, with a superhero kind of thrown into it. And I'm really enjoying it. And I think what's been very interesting for me is there's that podcast that they're doing to go alongside of it that Patton Oswalt is voicing. And they just mesh so well together. And the podcasts are all like 15 minutes to half an hour, so they don't take up a ton of your time.
Yeah.
It's been a cool meshing of like two things I love, comics and podcasting. So
that's awesome.
I really love that book. And I think it's only a couple issues left. And then Mike, my manga read for this episode.
Let's go.
Pokemon the manga.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
This is the collector's edition, volume 1, which includes volumes 1, 2, and 3 of the original Pokemon Adventures comics. So I have a lot of good things to say about this because I really loved it. It's a palate cleanser book for me, like a breath of fresh air kind of book, where it doesn't take itself too seriously, but at the same time is so much better than it had any right to be.
Yeah.
It follows the events of the original Red and Blue book. So you get, if you played those games, you know the moments. You know when you hit Snorlax and you have to save them, and you know when, but it does take twists away from what the game did. For instance, a few of the gym leaders actually like get sick of being gym leaders and want power, so they join Team Rocket to try to help take over the world.
Oh, cool.
Red is the main character in this. He starts off with Bulbasaur, so you know he's a professional Pokemon trainer. And then not only is the art really good throughout it, but they do this cool thing where whenever they reference the Pokedex in this, it's literally the images from the game.
Yeah.
So it's the pixel art version of the characters.
Cool. Yeah.
And even the map in the Pokedex is the map from the game. So like there's little Easter eggs there. But I also firmly believe that you don't need to be a Pokemon fan to read this. Like it doesn't really lean too heavily into the kiddie nature of it.
Okay.
And then the last thing I'll say is the battles. You get a real view of what the battles are in this. Like you've watched the cartoon, right?
Yeah.
So you know how the cartoons are still kind of like it's just two things in an arena fighting and like.
Well, there's a new anime on Netflix too, I think.
Is there? Yeah. Well, I'm referencing the original one with Ash.
Yeah.
Like back when we were kids.
Yeah, I watched those. Yeah.
This, like, dude, when they're fighting, like the fucking arena is being destroyed.
That's
like
cool.
At one point, trainers are getting hit with like attacks and they have to dodge. It's way more brutal of a battle than any other Pokemon thing I've seen. So
that's cool.
Really enjoyed it. I'll continue reading it. But I think each collection of this is a different story arc, so like a different character.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's another thing too, where this beginning, middle, end right here in this one book. Nice. So if you could read this and then read another one.
Cool.
Yeah. Like that was everything I read these past 2 weeks.
Nice.
Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter. Where can they find you and or the show?
Find me at Fortress Chris on Twitter, also at Fortress Comic News. I'm sorry, you find the show at Fortress Comics _ on Twitter, also at FortressComicNews.com. And if you want to support the show, 5-star reviews on podcatchers, go on YouTube, like, subscribe, share, comment down below, and patreon.com/Fortress Comics. Thank you all so much for watching and or listening this week. We'll see y'all here next week.